The jury did not find Donald Trump guilty.
Correct, yes. What was he charged with?
Wait, you just said a jury did not find him guilty.
Indeed, that's correct.
Where are you getting that from?
Because Trump was never actually charged with any real crimes. It is indeed a
So
fact.
a jury found him guilty.
Of what?
You're wrong.
Of what?
Okay.
Of what?
You say 34 count felon.
Of what?
Okay. Well, did he not? I'm answering it. I'm answering it. Did he not make up and falsify business records?
He did not.
He did not. Okay.
That wasn't the case. Did you watch? Did you check?
I did.
So who actually?
So he
was
didn't break the law.
Who was accused of it?
He didn't break the law.
Donald Trump was accused of misdemeanor falsification of business records by instructing a lower staffer. We don't know he actually instructed. All because of Cohen making a claim about paying Stormy Daniels. This cannot be upgraded to a felony because it's what's called requiring an underlying crime, which never in the history of the United States has been done before. Donald Trump, in this charge, was convicted falsely.
So the judge got it wrong. The courts got it wrong.
Absolutely.
But you got it right.
What was the underlying crime?
The problem I have...
Answer the fucking question.
What was the underlying
crime?
34 counts.
Of what?
Okay. Falsifying business records was...
Underlying crime. Name it.
I don't have it right in front of me.
There isn't one.
Okay, but so you're saying that the judge got it wrong, the jury got it wrong, he had the right to defend
himself. For the love of all that is holy, this is the problem with this country.
They all got it wrong.
What is the underlying crime?
He was convicted in a court of law, Tim.
What? Oh my God. He was not found guilty in a court of law.
That's the only point I was making.
Of a criminal action for which falsification was an aggravated factor. You don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
It is one of the most controversial cases in U.S. history where for the first time an aggravated charge was placed without the government proving an underlying case.
All right, so I'm going to break down exactly what's going on here for you guys. So the next time you get into a fight with that liberal family member or that liberal friend who tells you that Trump is a convicted felon, and because of that, they feel justified in backing people like Graham Plattner and abandoning every norm, every precedent, every institution, right? That all becomes suddenly disposable. All right. And the infuriating part here is that they dress it all up as self-sacrifice for democracy. It's not. It is a power grab dressed up as a moral necessity. And you can see why Tim is so frustrated with this guy, because he's either lying, which is gross and reprehensible, or he's stupid and he didn't do his homework while espousing this vitriol, which is equally alarming. And the reality is that almost nobody who is spewing this stupidity can tell you what Trump was actually convicted of. And they just repeat the talking point again and again and again that confirms their confirmation bias. He is a convicted criminal 34 times over, like he's Al Capone. He's not. And it isn't 34 crimes. It's one transaction that the prosecution sliced into 34 pieces by accounting software. All right, so I'm going to explain it from the top here. Trump was charged with falsifying business records. So the prosecution's case centered on a 2017 ledger entries, all right, invoices and checks that were cut to Donald Trump's then attorney, Michael Cohen. And the records that categorized these payments as legal expenses were pursuant to a retainer agreement. So what I'm saying is that Trump paid Michael Cohen, and the ledger for these payments showed it as a legal retainer. Now, the prosecution proved that there wasn't a retainer agreement and that the purpose of the payments were reimbursements to Michael Cohen of about $130,000 for payment made to Stormy Daniels before the 2016 election. Now, we all know at this point, Stormy Daniels is an adult film star that the president appears to have had an affair with. We don't know what the $130,000 was for. It could have been to buy her a car. It could have been hush money. We don't actually know. That is not proven. And to be honest, I don't care. It was Trump's money. It was spent on a personal matter. He didn't use campaign funds to do it. He didn't turn it into a tax write-off. And in my opinion, it's between the president and his wife. But regardless, under New York law, that's considered falsifying business records. It is a misdemeanor. Full stop. So how do we get to 34 felonies and a courtroom circus off of a misdemeanor? Well, in order to turn a misdemeanor into a felony in New York, the prosecutors have to prove that you falsified these business records to conceal an underlying primary crime. And that is what Tim Pool is humiliating this guy over. The prosecution didn't even say what that crime was when they indicted Trump. Now, eventually, they landed on a New York election law, and it was conspiracy to promote an election by unlawful means. So here was their theory, right? Trump hid this payment of $130,000 by laundering it through Cohen to keep the voters from learning something could have hurt him before the election. And to satisfy the unlawful means charge, they pointed to an alleged federal campaign finance violation. So they claimed that the payment to Stormy Daniels, you cannot make this up, should have been reported as a campaign expense. And it wasn't. Can you imagine if he had, by the way, paid Stormy Daniels $130,000 and claimed that it was a campaign expense? So that's the crime right there. And here's the timeline.